All right, so jumping right into the injury that happened on Thursday, the biggest injury, I should say, which is Joe Burrow suffering a wrist injury. I want to say it was. I want to say they also ruled him out for the rest of the year. Did they say that, or is it
Yeah.
just
Yeah, now he's out for the year.
yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So with that, yeah, it's honestly it's just a shame that he suffered another injury and out for the year again. He's sustained two season-ending injuries, ACL tear, and then this one late into the season, but wrist injury. Obviously, the Bengals' playoff outlook doesn't look great at all. Don't think this is a team built to win without their quarterback. So, yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
what's the
What do you guys
backup
think
team?
about this situation? Who's their backup again?
Is it
I
Browning or
forgot it.
something?
Yeah, shoot. Who is their back?
Yeah,
Can't remember the
Browning.
backup.
Jake Browning.
Yeah, Jake
Jake
Browning.
Browning?
Yeah.
Jake Browning.
Yeah, this isn't like a Cleveland Brown situation where their defense is loaded type of thing, or they have the run game to obviously no team is able to sustain a QB injury, but to at least stay afloat. This is one of those teams.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the Bengals and when you think of the Bengals, you really think of Joe Burrow. So
Yeah.
you take away Joe Burrow, really, that's really the whole team right there. Um, yeah, I definitely, I have to assume, who knows? You know, it's football, anything can happen, but you have to assume from this point, even if they do get some in the win column, I think they're out of the playoffs. I I think the teams that they are looking to win for the rest of the year are really only bottom tier teams, and right now their only matchup that I feel like they could take away a win is against maybe the Colts, but I mean the Colts by all means are not that bad right now. Definitely are playing a lot better than what we thought they would without Richardson. I mean, we know Gardner Minshew. He's kind of one of those veteran quarterbacks who comes in for after an injury, and definitely is a difference maker in terms of keeping teams afloat. We've seen him do it before, and he's kind of doing it again this year. Um, and maybe the only other team was the Vikings, but now they got Josh Dobbs, and they seem to be kind of rolling right now. So really, for the rest of the year, I mean, that's if they get lucky against these teams. I don't see them beating anybody else really. So two games at best if they get lucky. And yeah, that's not going to be enough to get them into the playoffs. And yeah, at this point, it's just kind of too late to really make any plays. And I don't think there are really any kind of names off of free agents right now that you would pick up. But Carson Wentz was kind of really the last one. So kind of done at that QB position. I mean, maybe Browning can give him some type of play. I know he came in, had a touchdown. Obviously, they were playing from behind against the Ravens, and no way they were going to beat the Ravens without Joe Burrow. But yeah, I mean, who knows? We've seen quarterbacks, lesser quarterbacks, play out of their minds. So I don't want to count them out entirely from winning games, but it's going to be against either the Colts or the Vikings because right now the rest of their schedule is pretty tough.
Yeah, I'm with you. Joe Burrow being out for the season pretty much ends their season. We saw what it's like in the beginning half when Joe Burrow wasn't healthy. That team looked good, wasn't great, and when Joe Burrow finally kind of picked it up, started to get healthy, be able to run the ball, they started to look like that playoff caliber team that we all expected. But I mean, they're not going to get anyone even as close to Joe Burrow being injured levels at this point. Browning is not that guy. You're not finding someone off the street to play at that level. And that defense, yeah, like we said, isn't near Cleveland's level. They're not pride on their defense. Their whole game is that their offense is going to outshoot you. It's just the way they play. Tough loss to lose Joe Burrow. I mean, It's kind of done with. Like we said, they don't have too many more winnable games on their schedule, and to make the playoffs, they have to go to the wild card, and they already have losses to most of these teams. They lost to the Texans 2 weeks ago. They still have to play the Steelers twice. They lost to the Bengals week 1, play them again in week 17, and Jaguars, they still got to play in, I think, 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
one of either them or the Texans are going to be in the playoffs division, and the other one's going to be fighting for a wild card spot. So no tiebreakers and already outside looking in without your star QB. Kind of done season already. Just hoping to play spoiler since you got some playoff teams coming up in your schedule. But yeah, not much else to root for.
Yeah, it's really a shame. I really want to see this AFC North battle really go down to the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks. You know, I wanted to really see that.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Or-
So that's
I
definitely,
mean,
yeah, I
they,
mean, it's definitely going to affect the playoff picture right now with them out. Because, I mean, with Joe Burrow, they're for sure fighting right there at a wild card. Definitely, you have to
yeah,
respect them.
they're right on in the hunt. They're right outside.
But yeah, season's pretty much over. I mean, at this point, they're just. Do they maybe look to just kind of take L's for the rest of the year, kind of help their draft stock? Because, I mean, I can't imagine they're expecting Browning to win them games.
No,
So yeah, they definitely could fall
I
into
wonder
like the
if
bottom half of the AFC, especially with how some of these other teams are kind of fighting as hard as they are.
yeah, they got 5 wins. I think. Let's see. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Jets. They
Yeah, I
all
mean,
have
I don't think we
five
look.
and
Yeah,
5 and 4 wins. So possibly they can
they
just
could
jump
they could go to the
the
bottom
Bengals.
three. I mean, it could just be the Patriots and Titans because
Could be,
obviously
yeah.
they're at 5 wins. I mean, do we really think the Patriots can get 3 more wins this year? Probably not. Maybe two from the
Uh,
Titans, maybe one from the Titans, and with four.
yeah.
I don't know. Just gonna depend on the matchup. But yeah, they're. I mean, I have to assume the Broncos, Chargers, and the Jets will at least get one more win, 1 or 2 more wins. Getting
I think it's
so
reasonable. Yeah.
yeah, they're definitely could be in that bottom three. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just plan for next year.
Yeah, pretty much. Try to get a playmaker, especially if you're going to pick in high. And if not, if you're in a position where it's you're still in a position where teams want to trade up with you, you get a quarterback, then even better.
Yeah,
Just accumulate more draft picks. Just continue to build around Joe Burrow, whether that's the O line or shore up that defense.
yeah. I
Either
think I
way,
mean
you
they're
gotta.
targeting O line and defense for sure.
Yeah, that should definitely be the priority.
I mean, with how heavy
yeah,
this draft is gonna be of QBs. I can see a lot of teams maybe making some pushes to get some. I don't know. I'm not sure quite how many first round QBs there are, but you have to imagine there's going to be quite a bit.
Yeah, we're probably gonna see a lot. Obviously, we'll wait and see on who actually declares.
Yeah, that's true. Who's going to declare? But
I expect them to go to line. I'm wondering if they're now regretting the Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. Probably not, but with how many
Nah,
Burrow been sacked and how many injuries he's taken, maybe might have been nicer insurance to have someone to protect him.
I don't know. I mean, I think if you're looking to the future, you'd much rather have Jamar Chase.
I think they made the right choice. I
I think
obviously
Jamar
thought they
Chase
should.
is a future Hall of Famer. So
I think at the time I was thinking they were gonna pick Penei Sewell, but I think they made the right choice. It's like I don't know. Yeah, they wouldn't have this
I,
success without Jamar.
I mean, I get what I get where you're coming from, Brady. Obviously, that
Yeah,
offensive line does not look great, and
he's not. He's been sacked just as much times. I think like 8 times less than Andrew Luck, who decided to retire because it was just too much of a beating in his first few years.
no, he
I
got that
don't
more.
think not too much more. It's really not that much more.
Really? Okay, yeah.
I thought the numbers were closer because I saw a comparison and I thought they weren't too far off. I mean, Joe Burrow's been the most, I think, hit quarterback in the league in the last 3 years, so he's already the highest active player. So I don't know. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries. I like Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase is looking like he could be the next great receiver, just skill set wise. But like we said, you need the QB, and he has not been able to keep healthy for the whole season very often. I think besides their Super Bowl run, which I want to believe he missed a game or two in that run. I'm not too sure, but hasn't had too much full healthy seasons on his record right now. So definitely got to figure out something. I don't know, play style or O lineman need to be added through the draft or free agency again. But yeah,
Yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, they'll look the off season. Maybe play spoiler like Bryson said, or yeah, play spoiler and then look to the off season. Hopefully to shore up that roster. But let's move on to the number one seeds. Maybe we'll start with the NFC side. So right now, currently, Eagles have the number one seed yet to play Monday Night Football. They'll play, so they're sitting at 8-1 with the Detroit Lions 8-2 right behind them, and the Niners 7-3. So right there, those three teams, and then if you want, you can still say Dallas Cowboys 7-3, sitting at the 5 seed. What's your guys' thoughts though on who you think is gonna end up with it, or just how it's gonna play out in general?
I think the Eagles still take the 1 seed by the end of the year. I am expecting them to lose tomorrow, dropping 8-2, kind of tying it up with the Lions. Um, if they don't, obviously it puts them 9-1. I think if they win tomorrow, they're sitting pretty for the rest of the year in the standings. So either way, win or loss, I think I have them winning the 1 seed, and then I still have the Lions at the 2. Um, I actually could see the Niners potentially taking the 2. I think they might have a better schedule than the Lions do coming up for the rest of the year. Um, they do play
I
you
think
guys. I think I could
I
see
think the
them.
Lions.
I could see the
I think
Niners dropping to you guys.
I hope so.
the Lions have a pretty easy schedule outside of the Cowboys.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that's the only game.
Okay.
Yeah, toughest game
Strong
obviously
teams, but
Cowboys.
not better teams.
Yeah,
Two Vikings, the Broncos, Saints.
yeah, two division games are there. So this division game went down to the wire. So I don't know, but you would think they would pick up those wins.
Yeah, I think if you, I don't know. To me, looking at it, I think both the Lions and the Niners really only have one game each that I think that like not that it's like a for sure loss, but just teams that they're not supposed to be like for sure supposed to be, which
Hmm.
is the Eagles for the Niners, and then like you said, the Cowboys for the Lions. So I don't know. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close between the Lions and the Niners. I think right now the Niners look a little better just overall. Yeah, we did see kind of a pretty strong push from the Lions. We thought they were looking pretty dominant, and then obviously we remember they dropped that massive dud to the Ravens. They bounced back, but it hasn't been like as dominant as the Niners are. Yeah, the Niners did take some tough losses, which injuries definitely played a factor into those games. Definitely games they could have won, so their record could look a lot different right now too. Um, But I think overall, the Niners, we'll see how that Hufunga injury affects that defense. I mean, obviously, one player shouldn't make that big of a difference, especially on that defense. But lately, in the last two, the Niners have looked pretty strong.
Yeah, not much else to say. Differently, I'm with you. I think the Eagles take this. I know they kind of have a rough schedule going forward, and they play the Super Bowl champs tomorrow, so kind of the biggest test you'll get all season. But I still think I'm kind of saying they sweep the Cowboys or they get the win over the Niners, which is just enough. Lions are a game away. Niners are 2 games away. It's not too much left in the season. I don't know. I can see the Lions maybe taking a shot at number one just because, as we kind of said, their schedule is not the hardest. They got to play perfect throughout the rest of the season. They have a chance, and hopefully, 2 people can take out the Eagles. Definitely a possibility, but yeah, I like what the Niners have done. Just entering this part of the season with 3 losses is going to be tough to win that number one seed. You're definitely going to make the playoffs. You guys played great enough to do that. You're going to win your division. I mean, I think they just got back the division today, actually,
Yeah.
with the Seahawks loss. So, I mean, it's going to be tough. You do play the Eagles. Sadly, you don't play the Lions to kind of get that tiebreaker over them. So, I think it's between the Lions and the Eagles, with the Eagles pretty much, I mean, it's their seed to lose right now, being at number one.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Lions definitely have a strong chance of taking that one seed just with that schedule, and Cowboys the hardest one left there. If they do win, yeah, they possibly just could be sitting at home through the playoffs. And I think if that happens, they definitely have a strong chance. The Lions of going just being at home in the dome, and Jared Goff obviously is a dome player, a lot better in the domes and in the element. So yeah, I definitely do think it's between Eagles and the Lions, but I'm a bit scared that the Lions could take it, to be honest, just because with this tough stretch that we got.
Yeah, I don't got
But
nothing else if you're ready to go to the AFC.
yeah, we can move on to the AFC picture. So right now, I guess not fully updated, but right now it's just showing the Chiefs 7-2, right, in the number one seed. They didn't play it obviously, and then the Ravens 8-3 as the number two. Jags and Dolphins in that order as the 3 and 4 seed, both 7-3, and Cleveland Browns right on the outside, 7-3 as well. That's just for the division, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise is the Browns. I mean, kind of the inconsistency with the injuries from Watson, and then that we know that huge injury to what's his name, Chubb. You know, we
Hmm.
thought the year was going to be bleak for them. Definitely thought that Chubb was kind of the engine to that offense. I mean, he is, but they've proven that they can still win games even without him. Drum Ford definitely has stepped up. Um, Deshaun Watson in the games that he's played has not been horrible, but definitely a little concerning with the injuries. But the defense is really just kind of what's keeping them in this race right now. Um, so yeah, definitely very surprising from them. And then I think the biggest other surprise is the Bills. Just didn't expect them to be 6-5 on the year. Thought they were going to be kind of fighting for that top three, and just hasn't been this year. Um, I don't know. I think it's tough. I think it's going to depend on if the Chiefs win tomorrow, because I think the Ravens have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the year. But I mean, in my opinion, I think the Chiefs do as well, other than this one coming up on Monday, and then really the only other team I see the Chiefs maybe having a problem against is the Bills, but with the way the Bills have been looking lately, maybe at the beginning of the year I thought this was going to be a good matchup, but right now it just looks like we'll have to see. I think the Bills did have a good game this week, it bounced back, but I think the Chiefs just look too strong for them. So really, the only games I could see them possibly dropping the rest of the year are you guys tomorrow, and maybe the Bills. But other than that, I think they could potentially only lose one more game against you guys, and that'd be it. So I think it's going to be a tight one between the Ravens. So I'm pretty sure this game is going to make the difference. If they win tomorrow, I think they got it locked in on the 1 seat. If they lose, it could be anybody's. I think the Ravens are right there. And then I probably have the Dolphins going third.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, tomorrow's game means a lot. I mean, just see how far the Chiefs will run away with first. They're right now standing in first, so huge win. I mean, AFC's a close playoff race right now. They're all a game apart, I think, at most. I mean, pretty much each division, 7, 8 wins. It's a close one. I'm gonna bet on the Chiefs winning this. We've talked about every schedule is kind of loaded with divisional games, and out of the AFC, that AFC West is definitely the weakest, with the Chiefs kind of just the runaway at this point. There's almost been no division talk in that division about anyone even coming close to them. We had the Chargers, but we see them at the bottom right now. So it's been a tough division. I mean, they're gonna win their division games. Raiders give them a fit, but I don't see anyone else really giving them problems. But other than that, it's anyone's game. I probably take the Ravens at second. We said their schedule's pretty easy, like you said too, and I probably would put the Miami Dolphins at third, but I think I'm gonna go with the AFC South. Whoever comes out, I think it's the Jaguars or the Texans. I think one of them take third. They've both been playing pretty well, and then Jaguars kind of had an off game against the Niners, but starting to look better this game. And CJ Stroud didn't look the best today, but good to see the Houston Texans defense can play football and get them out of stadiums that they don't have to always rely on a rookie QB. So
Next week we got that matchup, Jags Texans.
perfect.
So
Say a lot about that
I'm
division.
pretty sure if the Texans win, do they be tied
take
in,
first.
so they would take first and
They take
Probably.
first as the head-to-head.
okay. Yeah, since it's
I'm pretty sure it's their head-to-head.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
so yeah, this will be
for sure.
their next matchup, potential to sweep them for the Texans. But yeah, I think I don't know what's going to be close. If the Texans win this one, they could win that division. I know we kind of went over. We did our Texans outlook, and it really kind of depended on that game. So big division game next week. Definitely going to make a difference in the AFC. But
Yeah, you're right.
as long as they make the
You're right.
playoffs, I'm happy if the Texans make the playoffs. Just to see Stroud.
It-
Oh, it'd be
get
massive
it.
if he won a playoff game this year. Just the wild card or first round, whatever he makes it to. Probably the wild card, but if he wins the wild card, oh my gosh,
I'm not
it's gonna
looking
be
forward
massive,
to it.
dude.
I like CJ Stroud, but
It's gonna be
I
massive.
do not need the
I
media
wanna
all
see
over
it,
him.
dude. I want to see it. I want to see it.
You guys weren't kidding though about this Chiefs schedule. Like outside the Eagles, the rest of it,
I
it's
mean,
all
the only
winnable,
name is the
yeah.
Bills, but I just with how the Bills have been looking this year, I don't
Yeah.
think they really put up as much of a fight as maybe coming into this year we thought. But
Yeah.
right now,
I
And then
definitely agree.
Raiders still play them twice. They struggle against
mean-
them for whatever reason. So I
And
mean,
yeah, you're right. Maybe I
there's a
shouldn't
chance.
count them out, but I mean, just looking at it, like the Ravens have. I know we looked at that one before, but Niners, Steelers, that's already.
yeah, that's
You got the Jags, which
because they
Jags are right there with them, right? So Ravens definitely need the 1 seed. I feel like more than Casey, they need it because the way Lamar plays in the playoffs. Yeah. Yeah. Regular season Lamar versus playoff Lamar is it's kind of night and day, truthfully. Like he really struggles in the
Yeah,
playoffs. I
big
think the
time.
last time he was in, I think he played better, but I don't know. Like it's yet to be seen. If
I
he
don't know. I
can.
mean, as good as they do in the regular season, I just feel like every year when they make the playoffs, we just kind of write them off because they just seem to consistently can't win playoff games.
Yeah, they just really struggle. I think he played at least three playoff games. I might be wrong. He won one of them, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. It just that's why I feel like they need the number one seed way more than the Chiefs do. But at this rate, yeah, Chiefs just might end up with the one seed again.
Yeah,
I definitely think the Chief mountaintop is not as far as it has been in previous seasons. I definitely think they can get unearthed for one still. But
They can, definitely can. I think the only team that's gonna be able to do that would be the Ravens. I think they're the ones that actually have a chance.
I mean,
At
yeah,
least
it's going to be the Ravens if it's going to be anybody.
that the Ravens are gonna have to. They have to go on a hot streak. Like I said, the Niners, you got the Jags,
Yeah, it's tough.
Dolphins, Pittsburgh. This is the final week, so you guys might be looking to play spoiler at least for their seeding. You know, I
Oh
think you
yeah,
guys are gonna
for
be in the
sure.
playoffs. I know you're probably thinking, no, we're fighting for
we're not.
the,
We don't play
the
spoiler.
division. Yeah. All right, but still, yeah, they play the Steelers, right? So it's always a close game. So I don't know, might just be looking at the same number one seeds possibly. We'll see.
You would like that.
Yeah, I would. AFC, I won't worry about it until we get into the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna even worry about that side. But I do think the Chiefs probably do take it because yeah, like you guys said, that schedule does
Schedule is
not like
so
tough at
easy.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, the Ravens definitely have the tougher one. These last 5 games, 5 6 games.
Well, yeah. I guess that should wrap up our outlook on the number one seeds in the NFC and AFC. Do you guys have anything else though?
No, I think the only other thing happening in the league was the Joe Flacco signing to the Browns. But I mean, I think we're all expecting it. I think we were talking about just to kind of have a vet presence in that QE room. Um, I'd assume Robinson still gets the start. My guess. I don't know. After winning today, maybe they think Flacco can give them a better chance to win games. Kind of more surefire vet play than the risky, high risk, high reward rookie quarterback play. So maybe I don't know. Maybe he does start now that they're 7-3, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I think if they're not on the brink of a wild card, maybe they just go with Robinson. I don't know because Watson is he done or is he?
He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they're looking for Flacco to play in the playoffs. That's the only thing I can think of. Just to have a quick QB with playoff experience.
I hate Joe Flacco. I hate the Browns. I got nothing. I don't know what you want from me at this point.
Oh
Talked about
man,
the
you're too
Browns too
funny,
much
dude.
today.
It's AFC North crime, man. Gotta get your take on this.
I don't know how old is Joe Flacco now. Probably old.
That's a good question. I'm not so
Old
Old
sure.
to
as
be in the
dirt,
league.
dude. He's got to be up there. They can't be. They can't be expecting much from him.
I will
38.
say
Dang.
though, I think Joe Flacco's the better option. I think,
Yeah,
in my
I think
opinion.
so.
I know Thompson got the win today. I didn't think he looked great at all. Just made some short throws. Run game kind of kept them going. Kind of just want a quarterback that's not going to make mistakes. And I think Joe Flacco, being how old and the vet he is a little bit better just with the defense they have. You got to win the turnover battle. You got to be can't make mistakes. At that point, that'll shoot you in the foot. So yeah, if you're out, I'd go ahead play Thompson, see what you got. But if you're really trying to make a run in the playoffs, I think Joe Flacco's your better pick.
Yeah,
Well, that's definitely reasonable. Yeah.
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? Any something you want to get out there? You have a hot take or anything? You want to vent?
I've been ready to lay in bed since my team lost like 4 hours ago,
He's ready to call it.
and I would like to
Tired
continue
of
doing
talking
that.
about it.
All right. But yeah, that should wrap things up for our Week 11 reactions. Tomorrow's Monday Night Football, Eagles Chiefs. So we'll see if we go 2-1 or 1-2 on the week. So yeah, stay tuned for that and make sure to check out our Instagram, same name. But yeah, again, that should wrap things up for Week 11 reaction videos. Make sure to check out all our videos on all the play the games from this weekend. And until next time, shoots.
Cooch.
Huge Bottas.